One moment. Okay. Again, we have reconvened again to discuss our second student for today. Our student is Hani Bilat, and today is the 27th of August, 2024. And this Viva is headed by a board of examiners, Dr. Noha Nejim, Dr. Asim Al-Haj, and myself, Professor Zahir. As usual, Hani, you have 3 minutes to introduce yourself, and then 15 minutes to introduce your presentation. Your main examiner today is Dr. Noha Nejim. So may Allah help you. Go ahead, enlighten us with your work. يلا توكل. بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد. First of all, let me introduce you myself. I am Hani Bilat. I have a bachelor degree in English language and literature, and also I have a master degree in English language and literature from Open University. I have a background of teaching Arabic language to the non-native speakers, and also I taught English courses, English 1, English 2 at Arab Open University since the year of 2015 till the last year. And it was my honor to teach at International American University several courses. Actually, I'm very happy and glad to be in front of you today, my distinguished professors, Professor Zahir and Dr. Asim, Dr. Noha, to defend my PhD. It's a very great occasion, and may Allah, inshallah, help us. And I want to thank you for your great effort. The title is Factors Affecting the Public High School Teachers' Performance in Madaba, and I choose the job alienation and leadership style as the main factors that I'm going to study through my dissertation. The dissertation start by these two main factors, and it employed a mixed approach of quantitative and qualitative approach in order to answer the research about the two main factors of study. I know that there are many other factors that affecting the leadership style, but I choose these two main factors in order to understand the influence of them because of their importance and because of not lack of studying the leadership style, but because of their importance and their great influence. And regarding to the job alienation, I haven't found many studies in Jordan particularly. I have found two studies, one of them in Zarqa and the other one is in Irbid, and they are studying the job alienation, but they are studying other levels of schooling, private, not private, the elementary level and preschool. But here we are trying to focus on the last level of schooling, which is the secondary school, or what we call in Jordan al-Tawjihi, because of the importance of this level, because of its importance to the students. They are trying to find their future career, their future specialist, and they want, according to their average in this level, according to their average in al-Tawjihi particularly. And nowadays, many people hear media and also not just in newspaper or social media or other media, they are talking about التوجيهي. Before 1 month ago, the outcome and the finding of التوجيهي became there is as a revolution in Jordan here, because all of people and parents, families, students, and also universities, they're all sharing the ceremonies, and they're sharing the discussion. TV shows talk about that issue. The effectiveness of educational field. And you know, doctor, that educational field is a very important field in any country, not in Jordan, but any country, so that we need to pay more attention, more studies to the factors that affecting the performance of teachers in this level. And the performance improvement is always a dream, and it is always something that we want to work on every time and every now and then, and we need to improve. This is the problem came as a statement of the problem to the study itself. And it is very important study because it is significant to choose a specific leadership style that may suit the social background of people here in Madaba, or may later on we can generalize it. Considering alienation is a very important issue also, because it is lately, and maybe 20 or 30 years ago, this is a prominent theme. I mean job alienation, or the alienation as a sense in general. People discuss this issue in many fields, not just in education. So it is worth to study this in education itself. So the second stage of the research was to go to the literature review and dig deeply inside all, if I could, done all them. The studies, the materials, the boxes, and all of these that discussed the factors influencing teachers' performance. And they are in general, and they are combining many factors actually. There are many studies also in the world studying the job alienation, leadership styles, teacher satisfaction particularly, and the motivations, and the effectiveness of the classroom. And they are studying the external and internal factors that affecting, that's because of the importance of this field and the importance of the performance of teachers in this field. The quality of education is a matter, and it is an issue that need to be studied more and more. Factors influencing learning environment, such as the cultural background and any factors that are surrounding the institution, which is the school itself, and inside the school also, in order to get a good performance of the teachers. So the most important issue in this study is the teacher who is playing or plays the pivotal role in educational process itself. Alienation and effectiveness leadership styles, it is there is a relationship between these, even if they are independent variables in my study, but there is a relation also between them, and they are affecting each other. But always we can go to study or make studies if we could find gaps. So there is some, I mean, here in Jordan and in my governorate, Madaba, and the schools here, maybe I claim that they need to study in details, in deep, because of the speciality of the tribal community and the people here in Madaba. We need a reliable perception of mixed leadership that suit the people, that suit the teachers who work in Madaba Governorate. Madaba context in general is considering in this study, because of the study is studying the teachers of high schools in Madaba. So the second stage is the research questions. And I don't know if, unfortunately, I have many questions. There are 6, and the first one is divided into 2 questions. The questions are many, but fortunately, I could answer all of these questions. What are the prevailing leadership style in Madaba? I will say them in short and very short regarding the time. What is the degree of job alienation? This is the second part of first question. And the second question is the degree of performance of teachers in Madaba. The third one is how leadership style impact the high school teacher performance in Madaba. And also the fourth question is, how does job alienation impact secondary school teachers' performance in Madaba? The fifth question is, are there any significant differences in job alienation and leadership style? I will take these 2 main factors of independent variables of the study and studying them with the moderate variables, which are the gender, academic qualifications, year of experience, and personality, and the specialty of teachers. The sixth and the final question is, are there any significant differences in the performance of teachers in high schools in Madaba due to their gender, without studying the main factors? So I will reach to this figure, which is clearly show the variables and the study method. This not method, but the variables and the independent and dependent variables and the moderate variables, job alienation and gender, job alienation and leadership style, gender, age, academic qualification, year of experience, and specialist. And also the dependent variable is the performance of teachers in Madaba. The study methodology, as I mentioned before, maybe 5 minutes, there are also 2 mixed approaches, which are the quantitative in the form of questionnaire. The questionnaire distributed to the teachers in Madaba, the high school teachers particularly, and the qualitative approach is in the form of interviews, which is divided into 2 types, in 2 parts. One of them is to the educational supervisors in Madaba, and also the second part is with the principals of schools in Madaba. This is the population and the sample of the study. We have 1,044 secondary school teachers in Madaba, and the schools in Madaba are 52, divided into 30 schools for the male and 22 for the female. And the responses or the sample of the study chosen randomly also by the gender. The gender and the specialist and the academic, the experience also taking in the consideration here in order to understand how many female and how many male. Actually, the total of responses about 360. Maybe it's not appears here. I don't know why, because it should be appear at the end of this table, but it is not appear now. It is the 368, and they are sufficient because according to Thompson equation, I get that I have to get 282. But I got more, I got 368. And they are here divided into male and female subjects, scientists, and the qualification of the teacher. The data analysis and interpretation depended on three ways. As I said, there is a qualitative and a quantitative, but the analysis is based on the triangulation of interviews, analysis, and the questionnaires, statistics provided robust understanding of the impact of job alienation and leadership style on the secondary school teachers' performance. This mixed method approach allowed the researcher to, I think, to gain deeper insight by examining the phenomenon of alienation and the leadership style suit people in Madaba or teachers in Madaba. The impact of leadership style on teacher performance, mainly transformational leadership and democratic leadership. Maybe some people will confuse by the different types of leadership styles, but they are, as always we study, that they are under the umbrella of three types: the transformational and the autocratic and the transactional. Transformational, and here democratic is also under the umbrella of transformational, and the dictatorship. I placed them as they appear in the in my analysis. This table show the means and standard deviation of the teacher responses on the leadership style domains. So the transformational leadership comes first, and the democratic leadership, then the dictatorship leadership, and the anarchist leadership of style. Okay. It is a repetition of the transformational leadership and its impact. This style foster a positive. What do we mean by transformational? It increased job satisfaction and improved student outcomes. The job alienation among teachers, in order to measure the job alienation among teachers, in the questionnaire, we used these three domains: the loss of organization standards and values, and the social domain, and also we have the professional estrangement. And every domain of these has an items in order to measure they appeared in the questionnaire at the end of the study. This also present the means and standard deviation of the teacher responses on job alienation, not the leadership style. So these three domains, the loss of organization standard and the social domain, professional self-standard. Maybe the loss of organization standards came first, but all of them, they are came not very high, they are low. So the impact of job alienation came in the following. The domain, loss of organization standards and values, there is no significant impact. And the social domain, there is a significant positive impact, and the professional self-estrangement, there is a significant positive impact. Here we got a new finding of the study, which is the rule of private tutoring. This came from the analysis of the interviews, particularly after maybe the final stage of the analysis of the study. After the analysis of the interviews with the principals and the educational supervisors, I found that there is a great motivation or drive motive that push the secondary school teachers to perform better, which is the private tutoring here in Madaba. And the hidden factor behind this is the incentive or the money that they get and the financial issue from this private tutoring, which appears to a key factor that motivate teachers to improve their teaching. And also formalization and the integration. The study recommends formalization to this finding to integrating private tutoring into the public school, which will appear in the second maybe slide in Madaba. This would allow for proper controls and mechanisms to raise their standards and secondary school teacher while ensuring ethical and effective. Not privately everyone teach as he wants. There will be benefits, and student will get more benefit from this, and also the teachers themselves, they will get benefit. Sorry. The study model will contain a low amount of influence of job alienation, but significant impact of transformation and democratic leadership, and the private teaching appears as a finding. This is the model figure of the after the study and after the analysis. The moderate variables exist also, but we have the job alienation and the leadership style affected each other, because the row here from job alienation and leadership style, and this is mentioned and documented in the study.
Hani, move the slides and try to finish. Your time is nearly finished.
Okay, and there are some recommendations here to support for diverse learners, teachers, and good relationship between them. Teachers should develop plans to support student with varying needs, such as low achieving or gifted students, to give them more attention. Principals should support teachers with resources and maximize their effectiveness, creating detailed plans at the start of the academic years. I know there is a plan, or there are some plans with teachers, but here the plans here should take in consideration of the leadership style and the psychological state of the teachers in their consideration. Positive leadership and recommendation and to the specific area here in Madaba and anywhere. So the conclusion the teacher performance in Madaba secondary schools generally variable, and often unsatisfactory due to the classroom challenges and the financial incentives tied to private teaching. Many teachers prioritize private tutoring for better income, leading to inconsistent performance in public schools. And also we found that female teachers and those in language and science subjects tend to perform better. The study suggests formalizing private tutoring within public schools. It is a repetition. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. And Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Okay, thank you, Hani. Let's move swiftly to your main examiner, to Dr. Noha. Go ahead, Dr. Noha.
Thank you, Professor. Hani, thank you for this nice presentation and the interesting topic. I didn't catch what's your current job now. I know you're teaching, but what are you doing exactly? Hani, can you hear me?
Hello, Doctor, I lost you. I don't know what happened, but I lost you. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, I was asking you, what are you doing for a living? What's your current job?
I'm a retired officer from Royal Jordanian Air Force, and I'm teaching privately. And that's privately because this is my private place. I'm teaching Al-Tawjihi, and I have a small center of my own, small center teaching at this center. Yes, and also I'm a part-timer at Arab Open University, and just that.
Okay. What is your main major? What are you teaching?
I taught English, and also, as I said, I taught Arabic language to the non-native speakers, and also I'm now teaching with Professor Zahra. I taught several subjects with them at American University, but mainly I'm teaching Al-Tawjihi curriculum, and this is my main job.
Yeah, from your presentation, I can tell you're a very good teacher.
Thank you.
Okay. In your dissertation, you've mentioned that there's poor performance of hold on a second. There is a poor performance of teachers in Jordan, and that's a widespread phenomena. I didn't find any reference for that. Well, it's very harsh here. Concluding in the beginning that there's poor performance of teachers in Jordan. Where did you come up with that very hard statement?
I can't find it. Where is it? But I found actually a contradiction of studies. That some studies mentioned that there is a good performing of teachers here in Jordan, but some other mentioned that particularly in the not secondary schools, maybe this is not in the secondary schools, this is in primary schools.
Yeah, you have to clarify that, because you don't want anybody to refer to you as using that that statement. It could be very unfair for the Jordanian education system. You've mentioned some laws and regulations issued by the education decision makers in Jordan.
Yeah.
Is there any follow-up on the implementation or following to what extent are those rules and regulations are actually implemented or imposed in the schools?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. There is a formal letter is distributed to the schools every year, and there is a permanent letters also distributed, and there is a book called I don't remember the name of that book, but it is a book that I have got a book. Its name, but I forget it now. It is about the regulations and the structure that they should follow in their preparing lessons, in their hour of break time, or their.
Are they following up on the on if the schools are actually following those regulations and instructions?
Yes.
Are there penalties for those schools who do not follow them?
Yani, I'm studying public schools, and actually public schools they are following everything, but we have private schools. There are some different cases.
Yeah, but even in public schools, are there any penalties? Any I don't know. Any thing that those principals could fear, or anybody who doesn't follow the rules and regulations could consider when they not follow them?
Not everything is formal and addressed to the schools directly. Some things that sent to the school in order to follow, and some other issues they are associated with the principals in order to arrange this stuff, and the schools, the table of teaching, and sometimes they are making some decisions with the secondary schools particularly. And I got this from the interviews. Your question is one of my answers to questions to the supervisors.
Yeah, I've noticed that, but yeah, the reason I'm asking you is that you have very valuable recommendations, and I've noticed that you have very good guidelines and instructions. So that's a very good. But do you think that the ministry would value your recommendations and would include them in the in that yearly book, as you've mentioned, and make sure that the instructors follow them, or the teachers?
Actually, I already started with the ministry when I take the permission from them in order to make the interviews, and they asked me they themselves. I have some relations with them. They asked me at the end of the day, as always, Professor Zahir said, at the end of the day, send us what is your recommendation about the regulations, particularly.
Great, yeah. So your effort won't go wasted. That's great. I hope they do that. My last question is: when you started the study, did the results meet your expectations? Did you expect the results to be that?
This is a great question, Doctor. Yani, Doctor, actually, regarding to the job alienation, they came not as I guessed or thought before. I thought that job alienation will be a major thing to influence, and it exists among the teachers much more than what I have got in my study. But that's not. That's not what happened with my study, actually.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming when I looked at when I searched for the results. So that's why I asked you. I had the same expectations when I started reading the dissertation. Anyways, Hani, good luck. You've done a very good work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Asim, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Hani. Right, I'll start from the very last point about job alienation. Now, how much alienation is there in schools in Jordan?
It's not too much.
In particular, do we know? Do we have information about that?
Yes, according to my study, I have two approaches. The questionnaire approach, quantitative, haven't gave me any about job alienation, but the amount of job alienation came from the
listen to Dr. Asim. Wait, Dr. Asim is talking.
My question is, before your dissertation, before your work, information available to the public, information available through researches, do we have statistics, information about alienation? And if there is, in Madaba and in Jordan?
Actually, Doctor, I've got two studies about job alienation. One of them in Zarqa and the other one is in Irbid. And there are these two studies.
One of them where?
One of them in Zarqa Governorate in Madaba. Zarqa and the Irbid. The Irbid also, but both of them studied the elementary school and the preschools. And they haven't studied the teacher themselves. They're studying the students, the alienation of the students. But here, I think it is different because
I don't hear you.
We can't hear you, Hani.
Hello?
Can you hear him, Dr. Asim?
Hello? Now?
هاني يعني تأكد انك جنب الكمبيوتر يعني تبعدش لورا تتحمس.
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
سامعني?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I will repeat the answer. As I said before, that I have got two studies that studying alienation, but both of them studying the students themselves, and they are studying the elementary and the preschool. I'm studying the secondary schools, and I detected the alienation among the teachers in high school. I think I'm the first one.
Look, my question is about teachers.
Yes.
You're studying alienation amongst teachers, but we have no, according to what you're saying, there's no statistics whatsoever about the identification of alienation amongst school teachers. So, I mean, how strongly is the base of your study?
Actually, I based my study on the previous studies, not in Jordan, in other countries, and also I put my questionnaire to study the job alienation among the teachers. There is two, as I mentioned in the presentation, 3 dimensions, and the 3 dimensions consist of.
Okay, so now from your study
okay,
how much alienation did you find among teachers?
It is not too much. It's a low amount of teachers who feel alien. They are not too many. And also
that's Annie. I mean, this is not specific. This is not a fulfilling answer.
Yes.
Okay, not too much. I'm asking from the study, because you've done a study. You can say, well, less than 1%, 10%, 5%. I don't know. And how do you identify teachers who are feeling or suffering from alienation? How do you identify teachers?
Actually, from my interviews, there is less than 5% of teachers who suffer from alienation, less than 5%.
But why interviews, not
in interviews, I felt that it is clearer for me, more clear, more when I ask them, and I'm also asking principals and supervisors. You know that supervisors meet their teachers monthly, and they are know something about this. And the principals know more because they are managing and leading the school, and they know if this teacher is not interacting with the students or with his fellow teachers or others. So
but you asked, yeah, but your questionnaire was sent to 368 participants.
Yes.
Have you asked them about alienation, if they feel alienated or not? Did you ask the question?
Yes.
And what did they answer? What was the answer?
It is different answers actually, but most of answers came low and very low or less than mid.
Look, it's called, this is a quantitative method, right? Quantitative means you sent your questionnaire to
I lost
303. You sent the questionnaire. How about now? I think the problem is through your network.
I don't, maybe.
Do you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, doctor, I hear you.
Okay, so you sent a questionnaire to 368 people. Now, in that questionnaire, you don't have a specific question saying, "Do you feel alienated?" And
no.
If there is a question like that, then the answer will be yes or no, and then I will know how many people have that feeling through the questionnaire.
Through the questionnaire, I didn't answer a direct question like this. I asked them if the regulations in the school interpreted in different ways, or if they are feeling that they are satisfied with their job, if they are dealing with students with good, gifted students or weak students or something like these questions that I asked in order to understand their alienation.
And is there a particular reason not to ask the question directly?
No. I didn't ask the question directly.
How would we know then now if there is or there isn't alienation in school?
Sorry, doctor, again?
So how would we know if there is or there isn't alienation?
Doctor, as I said, I divided this into three parts. The first part is to measure the loss of organizational standards, values, and domains.
What does that mean? Can you explain what does it mean? What does it mean? Loss of
the standards of the schools. Sometimes teachers feel that this is not the standards are not fulfillment or achieve their objectives, or they want to change this. They don't want to feel in this standards or these values of the school. So sometimes when I ask them, school regulations are interpreted in different ways. The regulations comes, as Dr. Noha asked me, from the ministry.
How do you link school regulations with alienation?
Yes, I link the school regulations with alienation. The alien teacher didn't accept these regulations easily. they are always they are suffering, and they are rejecting. They are not accepting everything.
How do you know that? How do you know that they reject the
I know this from the psychological understanding of the alien people who are feeling powerlessness and effectiveness.
How do you know? How did you get that information?
I get that information from the studies of alienation in general in psychological field, from many others, such as Marx and.
Asim, I think we have to conclude. If you have any last question.
One last question. Where, I was hoping to kind of focus on alienation cases, but these alienation cases, if and when they happen, where are they? Are they actually under which style of leadership are most expected to happen?
Yes, I got your question. Actually, the job alienation is not associated with a specific leadership style. The alien people, they are alien, just that. They are alien because they're not accepting the transformational and the dictator or autocratic. They are alien. They are not.
How do you know that? I mean, that's a generalization. How do you know?
I will repeat the same thing.
How do you know? How do you know? You are making a big statement here.
It is, yes.
I mean, you know, this statement is several PhDs. Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
So
that.
how come? So how come? How come? How do you prove your words?
I studied Karl Marx of 4 concepts of alienation: the powerlessness, and the isolation, and the effectiveness of which is connected to the regulations and the structure of the schools. And that's why
Karl Marx did this study, or his write-up is about school teachers?
No, he wrote about the alienation, and I'm understanding alienation and trying to interpret the teachers' alienation regarding to this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, my turn. Time is very limited, so I will be very quick, Hani. So, thank you, Dr. Asim, for your cross-examination of Hani. Okay, Hani. First of all, you need to add a new chapter to your work called conclusion. You did 1 or 2 pages, and this is you did not conclude your work in a proper way, matching the value of your work. Secondly, what has been raised by Dr. Noha and Dr. Asim, you need to tell us how exactly the different parameters that you've selected for alienation are measured as alienation. When you talk about regulation, how on earth would you connect regulations to alienation? It is not clear, so please do make it clear. The third, or the zero thing, not the third thing, the zero thing, you have started a new style other than APA style. So we don't like it. You have to start from the beginning. It's Hani style, not APA style. You teach APA style, and then when I look at your work, please, we want our own. We want APA. We don't want Hani's one. We don't like it. We need the APA. The other one is the model that you have put at the end. It needs to be more clear, and the chart that you put now for the parameters are not clear. You know, when you put the independent, put the sub criteria for each. When you talk about job performance, how would you know that there is a performance. It has to be clear when you talk about the independent and dependent variables. Okay, maybe the last thing that you need to look at also is the you throw the question on the questionnaire, and then you leave the people to say, am I ignorant or am I clever? So I would answer as if I am clever. You put 4 types of leadership styles. You made life complicated for those humble teachers that you've been asking, or principals. What do you think of the transformational, transactional? You put 4 styles. You should have selected one or
Sorry,
two.
Doctor, I lost maybe the last 15 minutes, 15 seconds, sorry.
Okay, when you discuss the different styles of leadership, you put 5 or 4 without justifying why did you use it. You put the transformational, the democratic, the dictatorship. I don't believe that there is a leadership style called dictatorship. It has another one. We have a transactional. This is the most common practice, and you've been taught that, and the transformational. And then you have these 4. You should have selected 2 or 3 before going to the questionnaire. But after going to the questionnaire, you ask the question for somebody who does not differentiate between them. So he would put any answer, and then you got wrong, I would say, results. So this is very clear, very strange. And I have noticed in your analysis that you put in your analysis one of the tables called error. Nobody puts error. At the beginning, you say that, say, X number has responded out of the 362 questionnaires, but you don't put it as an error in a table. So remove that part of the table. Don't say error, and then you make analysis for the error. And then you did not do anything for those. If it is error, if it is something that you rejected or it was not answered, so just you omit it from the analysis because it will make your work with different conclusions. Okay. This is my theory. I know research, I would say, dimensions, and because of the time, we conclude our discussion. Stick around, Hani will come back with our decision. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
We have reconvened again to
زاد.
Okay, we'll wait for Dr. Asim. Welcome, Dr. Noha. Welcome back. Dr. Asim is joining in a bit. Welcome, Dr. Asim. Okay, we've reconvened. We had our deliberation for the Board of Examiners, and the result of that deliberation is to be delivered by our colleague, honorable colleague, Dr. Noha.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Dear Hani, as I've mentioned before, you have a very interesting topic. You did very well in your presentation and in your dissertation. We need to have your work improved to the level of having it implemented to the ground in the Jordanian schools, and generalized not only to Madaba area, to the whole Jordanian country schools or districts. I'm not sure what you call it. To make it more applicable, to make the recommendations more like guidelines and instructions for Jordanian decision makers. For that reason, we could give you a pass with minor corrections, in which I would highly recommend.
Thank you very much.
I would recommend going through the video and do all the take all the recommendations and comments in consideration. Congratulations, Hani. All the best.
Dr. Asim.
Congratulations, Hani. It's been a long and fruitful journey. Anyway, good. Happy for you. I want you and would like you to, when looking at it now again with Dr. Noha, it's important that you refocus the work. You have to stay away from personal opinions, and this is for you and others. A personal opinion is not helpful. It's okay if it can be proven scientifically. So I think the issue of alienation, if you can get specific information and statistics or results on the level of alienation that exists in schools, will be very helpful and will be an added value to your dissertation. Congratulations again, and thank you everyone for all the effort.
Okay, congratulations, Hani. Welcome aboard, Dr. Hani. It's as Dr. Asim said, it's a long journey. It's been a long journey. And allow me to say this: when we received you, Dr. Hani, you were at a specific level, but alhamdulillah, you've gained